Pulp MX Network production.
Welcome to the Troy Lee Designs and Racetech Suspension and Engines Blair Matthes Project.
Yeah, welcome everybody. We are back on the Troy Lee Designs Racetech Blair Matthes Project. My partner is back from God knows where, all over the world, and we're happy to be back with you guys talking some World Supercross, talking some AMA Supercross. We took questions from Instagram and lots to get into today on the show. But again, thank you for watching and listening. We appreciate it. I know most of you are here for me. Very little of you are here for Blair, and that warms my heart. So thank you for that. TroyLeeDesigns.com. Email us using the contact form on Pulp. We'll send you a code to save with Troy Lee Designs. Justin Barsha, Dylan Ferrandis, they did their media days in their Troy Lee gear. Ferrandis said he requested specifically his Troy Lee gear to not be as tight as Barsha's. So that just goes to show you can get different forms of tightness on your Troy Lee Designs gear. Helmets, mountain bike stuff, they go way back since 1981. The guys at Troy Lee Designs doing big things with them. Race Tech, they have a new gold valve out for 65s, 85 Super Minis. They used to have it just with compression in it. Well, now it's got mid-speed compression. It's got rebound in it, low-speed compression, all of that. These are rebuilds in a box. If you have a little one, or if you're of that age and you're watching this video, get the Race Tech gold valve for your bike and watch it drastically improve. You'll float over the bumps. So thanks to Race Tech. Anything you're doing there, tell them you listen to Blair Matthes Project. They'll give you a discount, man. We appreciate that. Zool's, Seat Concepts, Firepower, Maxxis, Decal Works, Stomp Grip, A-Stars, ASV Levers, all on board with us today on the show. And, of course, I'm Steve Matthes. Producing the show is our guy, Kellen Brower, behind the scenes. He found some time away from Start Your Systems to include us in his life. But that is my co-host, the World Supercross announcer, desk guy, lead analyst, lead play-by-play guy. If you're paying, he's saying for World Supercross. Daniel Blair, what's up, DB?
Home sweet home. I'll just start there, man. I am home sweet home. A 24
great song by the way.
Oh, yeah. It was a great song. 24-day trip for me, and only one night did I sleep in my own bed at my actual home, and I'm already back at club. So yeah, it's going to end up being 27 days by the time I actually go home after this trip. But, dude, what a wild run, and I'm exhausted but fired up. And Christmas, New Year's, Anaheim. I mean, dude, this is what a rad way to get through November and December. So, fun trip, but I am home.
You know what sucks is I got a text from an industry guy that was sort of shitting on World Supercross. And, look, the track was kind of dusty, and we'll get into all of that. Sort of shitting on World Supercross and the prestigiousness of it and all of that. And I get it, and we can talk about that. But, hey, man, there's nothing going on right now. That finale with Anderson and Savacci was banging. Track was good. It could be like you could have used some water. We had 5 rounds all over the world. A bunch of riders and teams made money. Was it Anaheim won? No, it wasn't. And we'll get into the 3 winners and losers of World Supercross from each of us. But, yeah, I hate that attitude, like, man, it was some cool racing to watch.
Yeah, I would say the only reason to have that attitude is if you were trying to pin the two up against each other, which has been, I think, kind of this thing that happened because of its inception and the way everything started. But if you go away from that and you just go for what it is for fans, what it is for riders, what it is for industry people that obviously like you that enjoyed it and watched it. If you just look at it from the most simplest, which is, hey, we all like dirt bike racing, then there's no reason to dislike really any of it because it happened. For one, they nailed the 5 races. The live fans in attendance were digging it in every location. Riders made a bunch of money, and I'm not just talking about the Kennys and the Elis and the Haydens and the wild card, all that. I'm talking about the Simonson, Henry Miller, Colin Parks, like these dudes made a living in a time of the year when they typically don't. And here we are in middle of December watching a banging finale. Like, to me, again, if you get off the competitiveness of that initial inception and the way things went, and you just look at it from a pure, is it good for dirt bike racing? Then it was all awesome in the macro. And yeah, there's micro details that will be improved because this group really does look at those things and addresses them. So, no, I'm with you. I really don't understand the dislike at all. And there's not that much of it left, to be honest. I don't really see that much. So whoever it was, maybe they're just the last of a dying breed of haters of the series because I think everyone's mostly come around to it.
Yeah, it's been good. Hey, let's start with you. Good job as the lead play-by-play guy. They've really shuffled you around in these 5 rounds. At one point, we were doing going to put you on the side of a milk carton because they barely used you. And then Ralph had some flight problems. You can do that job. You were very good at that. You're probably better in the analyst role, if it's my opinion. And Jace from Gypsy Tales sided up next to you. He did a good job as well. Which role did you like, Daniel, of all the different things they had you doing?
Well, I'll start by just saying that I loved being back doing it. I didn't plan on that originally. I kind of had moved on in life, but I would say just being back in general is kind of the first personal win. I loved it, man. I really loved calling races again. But as far as the job itself, I like play-by-play. I learned that. Yeah, well, it's because, in reality, if you look at my timeline, I didn't really take it super, super serious until I started working with Coach Tony. And when I started working with him back in whatever year that was, 1920, all of my prep with him was geared around being play-by-play. So it's just what I've put my most attention to, and I learned the trait, and that's what I did at Monster Energy Supercross. I did that. So being back in that chair was surprisingly, even though it's the most responsibility, it's actually the most comfortable for me. The analyst role was tough because I was doing it for the very first time. I've never actually been the analyst until Gold Coast when I was with Ralph one-on-one. That was the first time I'd ever done that alone.
Yeah, but you did an arena cross and stuff like that. You've
Yeah,
done
but not
that.
live. Not live.
Okay,
The arena cross
yeah.
was all voiced over. So, and then even when I do Enduro Cross, when I was doing it live, it was all play-by-play. So I've never been the analyst. And then, of course, Ralph, he's however many years into this thing. So fitting in and learning his pattern and rhythms, like it was hard. It was actually a lot harder than I thought. Where play-by-play for me was just, honestly, that was the easiest show I've ever done. And so it's the more natural position because it's the one I actually prepared for years. And it's the one I've actually done live. So I liked it the most. I had the most fun, and maybe the race is the reason why. It was a really fun night of racing, but I enjoyed every minute of it. But I will say, as far as the job goes, play-by-play for sure is the one I like the most.
The fraud, Kellen Brower. What Daniel Blair is your favorite Daniel Blair for World Supercross?
Yeah, I'm with him. Play-by-play DB is really, really good. I think you could put him in that booth alone and it would be like a really good show, like Malin-esque. I know it's a lot, but the ability to be able to talk about what is happening on the track and then be able to dissect it like in a replay or something like that. He has both talents, and I just like listening to him. So it was really good.
You're both wrong. Analyst Daniel Blair is the best Daniel Blair.
Well, hold on. I will say I was analyst one other time. It was straight rhythm, and it was with Weege in play-by-play, and that was the easiest of all time because that dude obviously knows how to like do the job so perfectly, and I just had to sit there and just say whatever. That was the easiest television in the history of all television for me. Was
That guy's
being
a
an analyst
kook.
with that kook Weege.
He's a kook. And so Ralph had flight problems, right? So when do you know you're getting in and doing that?
Dude.
And how does Jace come into all this?
Dude, so Jace was a special guest for Gold Coast and Cape Town, and Gold Coast was the prime example of how we did things. It was me at the desk hosting with Jace as a special guest, and then it would be like, all right, let's send it over to Ralph, and then I would literally like run from one table to the other, grab the headset, and then be the analyst with Ralph.
Right.
So that's the normal, and that's what we thought it would be all the way out. The last weekend in Sweden, I kind of had heard that there was some issues with getting him there because he had an obligation in Indy, some show. I keep forgetting what it's called. And PRI? Is that right?
I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't know, man, either.
PRMX intro? He had to do the PRMX intro?
Maybe it's that. But it was in Indy, and he got to interview Mario Andretti. So it was like this big thing.
Okay.
And then I had heard that it was a tight window to get him there, and they were having issues finding a flight, but I didn't know for sure until Thursday when I got to Cape Town.
Oh, okay, so I thought it was much later. So you did have a day or two to prep.
Yeah. Thursday when I got there, I was like, hey, so what is happening now? And they're like, you and Jace are going to do the whole thing together. And I'm like, so I'm play-by-play? And they said, yeah, you're going to just go from the desk to play-by-play. And then we didn't even switch booths. So when we were at the desk, as soon as we would kind of go off the desk, we would just walk around to the front of the desk and stand in front of it so that we could see the monitors better, because the monitors were too far away to from behind the desk. So we literally were in front of the desk during the race call, and then we'd go back behind it, and we were switching headsets and mics. We had in-ears and handheld mics. We would take those off and put the headset on and walk around in like while we were talking live. We were just walking around the thing. So, but I found out Thursday, and then Jace is like, wait, so I'm like doing the whole thing? Like doing what? Like, I mean, we literally learned there what we were doing. And then, dude, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
We went
live, dude. And it was a lot of fun. And, and then to expand on what Kellen said, I kind of did have to do a little bit of both roles. I mean, my own personal inner circle of people that kind of like watch what I do and like give me feedback said that I kind of was having to bounce back and forth between roles. And that's because Jace, again, was just doing it for the first time. So I kind of was doing like a hybrid role a little bit, which that is difficult because essentially you kind of have to bounce around thoughts a little bit. But honestly, it was a lot of fun. And I think it was saved by good racing. I think that's the key for all broadcasts. If you have really good racing, you just hang on to that sucker and go. And honestly, that was a really good racing. It was an awesome finale, and it made it a lot easier.
I don't know. I feel like, because I'm deep in the media game, but I think our listeners or people in general would like to hear this behind the scenes TV stuff with Daniel and Jason, all of that. So maybe I not focus on racing early enough on the Blair Matthes project, but screw it. I think people like it. So
well, it's behind the curtain a little bit,
right?
It was a lot of fun.
Poor Joey Savacci. Look, Jason rode a hell of a race. We had Joey on the Pulp Show last night talking about the race from his perspective. He sounded damn tired too, by the way. But Jason, I think you got to give him props. Like, he wins the first 2 sprint races, no problem. Everything's okay. He goes off the track for the final main, gets back on, catches Joey, gets by him. Joey makes a couple moves. Jason goes off the track again, loses more time, makes it back up. And they have a hell of a race. Like, to me, Jason Anderson stepped up more than Joey Savacci lost it. Do you know what I mean? Like, Joey rode great.
Totally.
And Jason should have probably lost the title. But he dug deep. It's New Mexico on a Wednesday, that track, basically. And he won it. Jason won it more than Joey lost it.
I agree 100%. And that's maybe why I even feel worse for Joey, because if he did something like wrong, you could like point at that, but he really didn't. He kind of nailed everything. Jason just elevated enough to get it done and had a little bit more craft, like barely, just a little bit more racecraft, which is saying a lot because Jason has a lot of racecraft. I know people give him a hard time because of how aggressive he is, but I mean, he could do whatever he wants at will most of the time, and he used some of that on Joey, and Joey was using it back on him. I mean, Joey hit him twice pretty good, and I will give Joey even more credit because in the second race, he had to get back to second just to mathematically even give himself a shot. And, dude, he had to go through Luke Clout, who rips in that stuff, Vince, who surprisingly did nothing to him, and then past that Zaragoza dude who was ripping up front. But Joey had 8 laps to make his way through to second just to mathematically give him a shot at it. And then to come out in the next race when it was really time to be clutch and then whole shot and do everything right other than win the race. I feel like Joey really crushed it. And it's almost sad for me because he did it all so good. He was awesome. He just lost from a guy who had a little more craft.
Wow, Jason's a Supercross champion. He's got, 15 career wins or something? Like, you know, I mean, no offense to Joey, but he's battling a guy that has been there and risen to the top and all of that.
Totally.
Just good job for Jason Anderson, man. And the soil, like I talked to Joey at Gold Coast, and it was similar to South Africa, and it's not his preferred soil. It's not what he likes. It is right up Jason's alley. So even though Jason had a bad night at Gold Coast, so, also, you just got to look at the soil conditions and everything else. And Jason was doing a great job of shortening up the track. He was doing a great job of just I see what Joey's doing. I'm going to go here. They were talking last night on the show about the roll 2-3 or the roll 3-2. Yeah. And Jason was going 3-2-1 or whatever on the outside. I thought it was fine, equal way, which I liked the track. I thought the track was cool, but you could do both, and I thought it was pretty equal. I don't think some people were saying, Joey shouldn't be doing that, but to me it looked okay. But
it was very, very close. Jason did have the edge there because of the way it's set up. I mean, it was a really cool shot
for the outside turn. You mean? Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I mean, essentially what happened was Joey would have to slow up to do the roll, and then he'd get that 3, which was good. But Jason would carry so much speed and get himself to the outside, and it set him up perfectly to where he could do the last double from out to in and just get him in the berm. I mean, it really was probably a tenth different, but Jason was able to use a passing line where Joey was kind of not able to use a passing line. So, dude, honestly, the track was really, really good. And I'm going to give credit to the soil, which everyone wants to talk about, the dry, the dust and all that. When the track is dry and slick, these guys make little micro mistakes all over the place, which allows passing opportunities. And that's my biggest takeaway from World Supercross is really hard pack or really ruddy creates mistakes, which creates it just makes more diversity and it creates more passing opportunities, because when the track is perfect, these guys are all too good now and their bikes are too good now, and they just rip everything so perfectly that you really don't get a lot of opportunity. So for me, I mean, yeah, a little water would have been probably better, but super dry or super ruddy just naturally creates better racing. I'm sorry. It's just, I think if you went through history, it would prove itself out too. It's better.
Little too much water in that third turn, look like. Little too much.
They got that 250 class bad. Dude, they took half the field went down.
Yeah, not ideal. Kellen was making a joke about it in one of our group texts.
So whichever local was in charge of that corner, he got the memo.
It was probably Albie.
Probably.
Hey, I've said this before. You're absolutely right. Like in the two-stroke days, and I'm not a two-stroke kook, but in the two-stroke days, you watch it. Jeremy McGrath, the greatest of all time, would screw up a turn, couldn't 3 in, had to double. Villeman 3's in, gets them. It's a game of mistakes. It's a game of traction. Modern bikes allow you to basically jump anything at any time. You can make a mistake. It's not a problem. And mistakes make racing. Absolutely, Daniel. You nailed that. And this track did give you that.
So did Gold Coast.
Yeah, so did Gold Coast. Gold Coast was some of the best racing we saw. So I'm with you 100%. I wish there was something we could do for modern 4-strokes in the AMA series. Oh, wait, let's just make 9 whoops so you can go 3-3-3. Yeah, great idea. But anyways.
Hey, World Supercross had big whoops this year,
they did.
I think everyone showed up and they were all.
That's when you get Canadian track builders, we're generally the best at Supercross at everything. So, we know what we're doing.
Hey, they had a dragon's back.
Yeah.
They had a dragon's back, dude. They were just like, yeah, watch this. But I'll say one addition to this, and Kellen, I'd like to hear him get on this because it was his point before we went live. But when the berms have all these gnarly ruts down them, it's really hard to be aggressive and pass when these guys get in the ruts and then rip out of them, because they're obviously so aggressive on the exit, and it's hard to just cross over ruts. You have to like Levi Kitchen, Hayden Deegan to take someone out. But when the berms are all big, open, and dry, and there's no ruts, dude, it's more inviting to pass and play defense and stuff people. So to me, that would fix half of it. If they could just find a way to put the driest, hardest pack dirt in the berms and get rid of the ruts and don't let them come back. If they get that going, then I think it solves half of the passing problem. Kellen, do you agree?
Oh yeah, 100%. Because like it's gotten to the point where I feel like in the U.S. we've gotten to a level where everyone races a certain way because of that. Like they don't want to ruffle feathers because every pass is just going to be so aggressive. Someone's cutting from the top of a berm down into a low rut almost all the time now. So if you come in sharp, you're going to definitely hit someone pretty hard. And everyone's doing this perfect line around the track to make sure everything flows together and works right. And they're all waiting for each other to make mistakes, and it just doesn't ever lend to good racing. So if we had like just better berms in general, I think could change a lot. Like it's a lot of work, obviously, but if you could just freshen up a lot of the bowl corners before a main event, I think even that would add a little bit more dynamic racing than what we see right now.
Yeah. And change the angles on them. Don't make them so steep to where they're railing around them like pinned, because you don't want to stuff someone going 15 mile an hour, but hey, at 7, maybe you stuff somebody because it's not as violent. So slow the berms down and get rid of the ruts, dude. And that solves a lot of it.
Troy Lee Designs, Race Tech. Thanks to the guys at Zool's Bag Co., the official bag of Team USA for the Motocross the Nations. Pulp 25 code to save. Backpacks, roller bags, gear bags, all of it. Make traveling a whole lot easier. They got sports bags for all your kids. Triumph Racing, Phoenix Racing, Zulz bag, ZULZ, bagco.com. Great wheels, great quality on this stuff. Daniel's got a backpack he runs from the guys at Zulz. Thank you to those guys. Seat Concepts as well. From the Race 2.0 to the Comfort Series, proprietary foam and handcrafted seat shapes are made in the USA. They put you and your ass in a better place no matter the element. And if you look at Factory Beta, Phoenix Racing and Pro Yamaha, so on-road, off-road, motocross bikes, but then also they do the rally bikes and the dual sport bikes as well. Seat Concepts, ride the world with them. Pulp 25, code to save with Seat Concepts. Maxxis tires as well. Great mountain bike tires. We know that. I use a Minion out here in Vegas on my intense tasers. Also, dirt bike tires, Mitchell Harrison, all of that. PRMX guys using Maxxis tires. The International Supercross race team of Vince Freeze will be using Maxxis as well for 2026. So Maxxis.com, the King McGrath. We had him on the Pulp Show a couple weeks ago. Love the guy. He helped develop these things. So thanks to Maxxis. And again, Troy Lee Designs, Race Tech. Email us if you want a contact form. Or email us on a contact form using on PulpMX, and we'll get you a discount to save with Troy Lee Designs. Okay. First of all, Daniel, I love Jaws. It's one of my favorite movies. I said this. I went to the Jaws Museum in L.A. Kiefer gave me shit. Love sharks. I got a bunch of Jaws shit. Here's a 3D printed replica of the yellow barrel on top of the orca, and then here's Jaws and stuff. So I like sharks. Okay. I saw they took some people shark diving in South Africa, and I had massive FOMO, man. And then I saw you just say, like, I'm out. Like, dude, you're in a cage. You're fine. These companies, they don't, I assume these companies go out every single day with these sharks, and no one, it's not like a mass murder of people getting eaten by sharks. So I feel like it's pretty safe. I don't hear this in the news. But I was so jealous. Like, the Pipes team did it, and Shock did it, and Simon, dude, that was the number one reason to go to World Supercross is for them to take you shark diving in a cage. I'm there for it.
So they do this every Thursday for the riders. They go and take them into the culture, and they do something from that culture, and it's part of the Kickstart show that we do. And then they also from there use that same footage in the broadcast. So it's like a piece that they do, and they use it in all these different places.
Well, listen, Daniel, they're getting money from the governments to bring the race to them, and then they want to show you the local culture.
Exactly. So you do different things while you're there. And for me, I mean, I don't even want to admit this because then I just.
What?
I have a massive water phobia. Like, I don't go in lakes. I don't go in rivers. I will never go in the ocean. I went to Cancun for my honeymoon. I never put one foot in the water.
What?
So I have a legitimate water phobia. So there's no chance in this world you couldn't pay me enough to get into a cage with sharks. Period.
I didn't know this. Okay, so then I get it. Yes.
Like it's not like a silly joke. Like, it's legit. Like, again, I went to Cancun. I didn't go in the water once. I don't go in water. But it's a really cool thing that they do for the riders, and a lot of them are traveling with their wives too, and they're kind of like. I think they're trying, and I know they're trying to create the brand of World Supercross is we travel all over the world. So if you go all over the world, you kind of want to know, like, where they're at, what do they do there? Like, Sweden, they went curling in Sweden. They're all on the ice curling.
Yeah, I curled as a kid in Canada. So I saw that. It was very bizarre. But honestly, any weirdo shit you need to do, call the Moto Concepts guys. They'll fit right in.
They'll do it all. They were there. They were actually the ones curling. But no, so it's just a cool thing that they do to add a layer to what World Supercross is, which is it's a global tour pretty much. So and the shark diving was probably by far the gnarliest one that they did.
Looked amazing. Kellen, would you do that? Are you in?
No,
what?
I'm out. No.
Dude.
No
if
way,
Tom
dude.
Burwell's watching this and he wants to take me shark diving next year, I think South Africa's back on the schedule. I'm in. Take me shark diving, Tom, but not with Anderson because he'll push me in, and I don't want to do any of that. But I'll go with someone who's nice to me. Love it. Really thought that was cool. And I thought
at the opening round in Argentina, they all went and rode horses, dude. And Justin Cooper almost weeded off the back of a horse, dude. The thing went all gnarly, and he almost flew off the sucker. I mean, imagine, like, hey, breaking news: we just lost Jay Coop, broke his collarbone on a horse. But so that gives you an idea. Again, like, they're just like, where are we going? All right, let's go do something out in the wherever that. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they do South Africa again. They would probably go out on a safari, dude, and take all the riders out with lions and elephants and stuff. Like they're just, what can we make these guys all do? And they all do it. So
deep sources confirm to me Calgary, Cardiff, Argentina, Brazil, South Africa, all on the schedule. Daniel, can you confirm or deny, or like these are all rumored stops for next year?
Here's what I'll say. I'll say that I've heard those rumors too, but when I asked, they didn't give me the locations yet. So
all right.
I think it's probably because they know that I do a lot of shows and podcasts, so maybe I'm not supposed to know yet. But I've also heard rumors of some of those locations too, and I think even more. I mean, I believe the goal is 7 minimum and maybe up to 8 or 9, but I think the ultimate goal is 10. I think he wants to get to 10 as like that's the number. But I would be surprised if there's not more, and I would say from what I understand, I think 7's probably a pretty sweet number for next year.
I'd look for the series to start in August next year too. Take September off for SMX, then fire back up, kind of like what we did in the fall too. So
I've heard that as well. Again, not from them, but I've heard.
Will you be back? Did you get any indication? Would you do it again? All of that.
Yeah, I mean, I have had indication that I will be, and I would. I will say I went into it thinking more just 1 year and go and feel it out and see if I even liked it, and mainly if I liked them. If I believe, because again, they have the series in general has a rough history from its inception, but this is a new group. And so I kind of bought onto the new group because, I mean, honestly, they pitched me pretty heavy on who they were and what they wanted to do. They nailed every single part of it and more, in all honesty. So yeah, I absolutely would. And I had some conversations that night already on what the future may look like. So yeah, I would say heavy odds that I'll be back for sure.
Listen, if it's me and I'm grouchy and old, but Daniel, you're old, just not as old, not grouchy. But anyways,
not grouchy.
Dude, I hope they're paying you enough, because I ain't doing that. One night in bed for 24 days, back South Africa, Sweden, whatever else there was, like Australia. I'm out on that. Like, I like these locations and I'm on board with this series, and don't get me wrong, all of that. But as a guy, I'm out on that travel. Like, it's cool, but I'm not doing that. You got to pay me a lot of money.
So I know you tried to get Joey's pay out of him, so I don't know if this is your slick way of trying to get it out of me. And all I'm going to say is I'm not going to give you the exact number, but I'll be a little bit better than Joey was about it. It's pretty good.
So I was told by somebody last year that Shane made about 300, 350, and I talked to someone today, deep, and they're like, no way. There's no way he made that much. But the person who told me that, I thought would know. So I'm reevaluating my entire World Supercross money talk. But anyways, so
I don't know, but I do believe they were throwing it out pretty hard that in the beginning, and I believe this group is a little bit more responsible.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, they're more responsible with how they're going about it, but I think it's still pretty good. Again, this is November and December, and dudes are traveling the world and making pretty good money. And I mean, I know what Simonson and those guys are making because I helped negotiate Simonson's deal for him. And I'm telling you right now, like, if I'm one of those dudes, sign me up and put me on a 10-year agreement, man. Like, it's really, really good money for that tier of rider who is making a living in a time of the year when they make zero. So I don't know what the top's getting, and I don't really know what that second layer, but I know what the third layer guys are getting. And it's like, dude, it's so awesome for them. Like, so good.
Rapid fire here on the TLD Race Tech Blair Matthes project. 3 winners and 3 losers from the WSX series. It could be anybody, not riders. It could be riders. It could be cities. It could be the series. You know what I mean? Like, anything. Kellen, you kick it off. 3 winners. Let's start with the winners, because we'll start positive.
All right.
Your first winner. Yeah, we'll do your first winner and then rotate. Go around.
My first winner is Stark, because it's cool that they got this opportunity to even be involved. I know there's a lot of pushback with, are we going to let them in? What are they going to be? How much horsepower are they going to have and all this stuff? So to even get this opportunity is big for them. And I thought they showed well. Yes, they got a couple of disqualifications and all this stuff like that, but they brought riders that I don't know you really would have thought would have delivered. And in some ways, each of them kind of did, which is really cool to see. So I thought A+ for Stark to even be involved.
All right. My first winner is shark diving. Yeah, absolutely. Shark diving was awesome. Everybody who got to do that won. The Sharks won. Good job. Yep, shark diving. Daniel?
I I'll go with Joey Savacci, actually.
Oh, wow.
I just think from his brand, like this sucks kind of, but when I think of Joey, I'll always think of Vegas and Osborne, because it was just one of the most dramatic moments that I can remember in the last 10 years in the sport, maybe longer. I mean, how often does a championship get decided in the second to last corner violently like that?
Mm-hmm.
And he was on the bad end of that. And I think that's really stuck with him. And yes, he lost this one too, but he lost this one different. I mean, it was against an established 450 Supercross champion, like you said, 15-time winner, and Jason Anderson, who
well,
is
I don't know for sure 15, but it's
like
around
that.
there. Yeah.
10, 12, 15, something like that.
Yeah.
He lost to that guy who he took to the very last corner, and he did it by fighting back and throwing some blows. And honestly, Joey looked good through all this. And I mean, it was a loss, but I almost feel like his brand just took a step up, because people will see this one differently and be like, hey, yeah, Vegas happened. But remember when he lost to Jason and the fight he put up and how good he was? Like, to me, it softens the blow of what happened all those years ago, because he was really freaking good, man. Like, really, really good. And he lost to, like, if it was like a UFC fight, he was by far the underdog in that against Jason, and he took him to the last corner, and that's pretty good. So for me, he's my first winner.
Wait till you guys hear my losers. Wow. Okay. Kellen, go ahead. Yep, sorry.
All right, my second winner, I'm going to go Christian Craig. This is the series as a whole. I know he doesn't win the championship in the end, and the last round was a little rough around the edges, but to go from maybe hating his life more than he's ever hated it at Star to looking good and winning a race with Eli Tomac and Ken Roczen and Cooper Webb on the track and having fun and blitzing whoops and looking good again. Like, overall, I feel like this was a reinvigoration for Craig to get maybe a few more years out of his career, and it was cool to see.
All right, I'll go Max Anstey, because although he didn't sweep, Shane got him at the last round, Enzo beat him somewhere, he probably put in about 80% effort. He cruised to most wins. He won a bunch of money, and he looked great. So Max Anstey, like, walked to the title, and with very little effort, very little stress, all of that. Austin Kent, also big winner. That's my second winner. Daniel?
I mean, this is kind of a big macro one, but I'll say just the live fans. That's kind of the goal behind the series, right? Is to take this to places that don't get it. And I know Australia does get it, because the Australian Supercross has been around for a long time, and obviously that fan base has racing that comes there. But that fan base there on the Gold Coast and Buenos Aires and even Vancouver, like, man, they got Eli on opening night, and him and Kenny put on a freaking battle. The fans in Sweden, I thought, got a good one. And then Cape Town, probably, I mean, I would say they got the best of it, because they got the championship night. They got a great battle. But the live fans that do love the sport, that we all kind of can get a little spoiled to because we get so much of it, like, they got it, like, on their lap this year. And the series provided them a good show. So I'll just go the live fans around the world that got to see some Supercross.
Yeah, look at the WSX mantra from Tom on down is like, we think there are Supercross fans all around the world that want to see these people, and I think they're right. I agree.
But I want to say, too, just so people understand the expectations, I don't think the expectations are to get 50 to 60,000 like they get in the U.S. There's not enough people in these markets and in these countries to even do that. But I think Tom has said 20, 25,000. If you could get to 20 to 25,000 in 10 locations around the world, like, that's a pretty sick live market of people that want to see this stuff. So I think the expectation has to be real too, which is 20, 25,000. You're not going to get 50 to 60. I don't think that's what they're chasing.
All right, Kellen, next winner.
My last winner is going to be all the wild cards in the 450 class, because as they said on Feld Media Days, they learned a lot. Like, they credited WSX with going to these races, doing some cool events, and learning a lot about their machines. Obviously, Jay Cooper and Cooper Webb are both dealing with the new Yamaha. They're trying to sort through those issues. They said they felt like they learned a lot. Eli Tomac had one really good round, one really bad round, and now he has a lot to figure out going into A1. So in general, I feel like these guys all just made a lot of money and learned a lot of stuff that is going to help them for 2026.
All right, my winner is Ken Roczen. Kellen kind of stole some of the things. He got paid a shit ton of money. Won the round, round, hung out, learned some things about his bike, tuned up his body for racing, all of that. Didn't have to do the South Africa, Sweden jaunt, right, which was a lot. And, and then, did I mention he got paid a shit ton of money? Ken Roczen, everybody, winner. winning, as Charlie Sheen likes to say.
All right, my third one is going to go to Pipes and that team. Like, you took a gamble on Anderson. You're bringing in another heavy hitter name. You kind of had to mesh two alpha number one type dudes together that got along the whole time. And ultimately, you get the payoff by winning the World Supercross Championship with Jason, which is a great kickstart to the relationship. So, and it's good for Suzuki, too. I actually had a good conversation with Aaron Pipes while I was there, and he just kind of was filling me in on, the off season and just where Suzuki is with them. And I think it's big for their relationship with Suzuki to go and win that thing with Jason and it not be Kenny. Like, it's Kenny. It's like, okay, it's Kenny, but they went and won it with Jason. And it's like, look what we could do for the brand that they are. I mean, they are Suzuki. They're the ones who keep Suzuki going. Suzuki likes them. They like them. And they went and won that thing with Jason. So I think it's big for the Pipes family and their whole program to go and get it done like that. I think it's just a massive positive for them.
Yellow Magic, dude. They got new merch, too. Suzuki can't be stopped. All right, we'll get on to the losers in a second, but thank you to Alpine Stars for coming on this show. The Tech Air is out. People are buying it. I'm getting some DMs about it. Please check it out. It can change the game for safety. The Alpine Star Tech Air, and obviously they make the normal chest protectors, the A1 plasmas. They make elbow guards, knee guards. When you think of Alpine Stars, I know you think of that gear stuff, but they make protection line, and they do some of it very, very good. Alpine Stars protects with those guys. Firepowerparts.com. Club MX using the Firepower batteries. Chains are available as well. Privateer proven. They got really big things coming from the folks at Firepower for 2026, so stay tuned for that. Firepowerparts.com. Loading ramps and stands, that's easy. It's great. It's easy, but they got more stuff coming down the road. So, all right, Kellen, we're each going to pick three losers from WSX, and Kellen, go ahead.
I think the biggest loser straight up is Justin Hill, because I don't know where he was for the 3 rounds that he did. None of it was good, and then he gets replaced. So, I don't know, man. Justin Hill.
Hey. I talked to him in Australia, and I'm like, dude, because like I'm DGAF, right? I'm like, dude, what the hell is going on? And then he told me suspension's not right. They want him to use their suspension. They Bud Racing is an aftermarket company. They're Pro Circuit of France, right? Suspension. The team language barrier, all of that. But I'm like, dude, come on, bro.
I didn't. After the second round, I forgot he was even there. I never saw him one time ever on the screen or on the scoreboard. And I was like, oh yeah, Hill's here. And that was 2 rounds of traveling the world. It was rough.
Not ideal. Okay.
And I'm a big Justin Hill fan.
He's a great guy, but
terrible saying this because it's like, dude, I'm pretty high on him and he was non-factor.
So then Anaheim won, he probably gets 5th. Right?
Yeah,
Justin. Yeah, exactly. Kellen's doing the shrugging emoji. That's exactly it. Okay, my first loser is one of Kellen's winners, Stark. Like, dude, okay, cool. They get to race. Awesome. Us 3 idiots talked about it beforehand, and like there was nothing. And look, Seb Tortelli, a very handsome man, a world champion. He can create a tiramisu, JT said, like no other. He's a man. He's a cultured man. Loves Seb Tortelli. But, like, he just said Vince couldn't adapt to the bike. Not enough time on it. Michael Hicks did okay. And Hicks is one of those BMX guys, pit bike riding guys, Sur-on riding guys. He can adapt to. He's got a lot of skill, Michael Hicks does. I wish he would get on a bicycle once in a while. Anyhow, I want all of the Stark talk back because they really did nothing. It was cool they raced, but like I was stoked to see what they could do. They got disqualified. Again, not really their fault. Stark, man. I'm sorry. Get some better riders. Do something. I don't know. Stark.
All right, so I'm going to build off that. Mine's Vince. Vince is a big loser here because he was an absolute non-factor throughout the entire thing. Like, I mean, I think he had one ride in Sweden where he was up front for a little bit, and it was like for a couple laps. And when it comes to even his brand, dude, he wasn't even able to like keep his brand alive. Like he could have killed Joey in that second race in Cape Town, dude. He had him wide open in the berm, dude. He could have just went right back to, right to brand and he didn't even do that. So it's like he was a non-factor and he didn't even do like Vince stuff. So there was like no win for him there at all. And he was a non-factor and I hyped it up coming in. I'm thinking to myself, dude, they're all going to have to pass this dude every race and he's going to be on a silent missile. And essentially he did nothing to anybody except for, I think he took Joey out maybe at the first round in the whoops, like on the first lap. I think
Oh, yeah.
that
Yeah.
might have happened,
Yeah.
but that's about it. Outside of that, dude, he didn't play a role, and I thought he was like the ultimate villain. It was like the perfect setup, and we got nothing. So,
I mean, the Starks are a weird bike. I think you got to get used to them. You got to know what you're doing. But yeah, it just didn't pan out for me.
And he's riding a Cowie at home, and he's going back and forth a bunch.
Yeah.
So he's not like gelling all the way. So it was definitely a rough go for him, though.
All right, Kellen.
All I'll say about the Stark thing is that neither of you, I know this, neither of you know who Jorge Zaragoza was before this, and he was one DQ and one bad ride away from getting 7th in points.
Hey,
so,
I believe he got 3rd in race 2 behind Jason and Joey, and he was only a couple seconds behind them at the finish, I believe.
Yeah, I don't know if they had the 80 horsepower mode at SA, but they were much better. They were better at South Africa for sure.
And that dude, I'd never heard of him until we got there, and he's honestly pretty good, dude.
I knew all about
really good. I knew nothing.
Steve. All right. My second loser.
Is he, as of right now, though, is he the most credentialed Spanish Jorge on the planet in Supercross?
Wow.
Just throwing it out there.
That's a yikes.
And he got a 3rd in the World Supercross race. I think that's best finish by a Spanish Jorge.
It's not crazy talk. No.
Okay. Sorry.
My second loser, and there's a lot of ways I could have went about this, but Lewis and I both agreed that WSX communication was lacking a little bit, and I'm going to put it on their individual marketing teams, as they're calling it, for having Kenny and all these other guys as marketed for Sweden and South Africa when they really weren't, and the WSX was blaming them, and so it seems like there's a communication issue there. Whatever, either way, like there was some fans that were pissed, and it created a drama that probably wasn't necessary to take away from the series.
Fair. My loser is one of Kellen's winners. Again, Joey Savacci.
That was my winner.
Oh, that wasn't my winner.
Oh, okay. Daniel's winner. Like, again, he had it, man. He had the lead twice in a 12-lap race, riding great. Jason caught him and passed him, and this could have been a huge thing for Joey Savacci. The soil was even like Vegas 2017, and he was trying to maybe pull a Zacho on Joey in the last turn, but he cased that double. And look, I say this just Joey's awesome, but Jason won this more than Joey lost it. But in the end, Joey Savacci lost this championship and had it in his grasp and was in control. So I'll go Joey Savacci.
I'll just build off that then. I'll say I'm one of the bigger losers here then because I predicted him to win the championship, and they put that up on social media. I got ripped in the World Supercross comments, like what an idiot I was. And I could tell you halfway through that race, when I thought he was going to maybe win that thing, dude, I was going to go back to that comment on Instagram and comment to every single person that trashed me and just Jay and Silent Bob, every single one of them. And then Joey didn't come through. So ultimately I don't get to do that because I was going to smash some people on Instagram that got me. So, yeah.
Okay.
So
you're the loser? Yeah,
I'm the loser because I predicted Joey would win and I came 2 quarters short, man. I almost had it.
All right. Kellen?
My last loser, and I don't know that I'm really like sold on this one, but I'll say it anyway. Shane McElrath has had a really weird offseason, and I know that he gets second in points here. He wins the last round, and things are going upwards, but it started so-so. His Australian rounds were not good either, and now he has to go jump on a 450 and hustle up boot camp to get ready for A1. So, like, it just feels like kind of maybe not the right program for him at this stage of his career, but he did get a win, so it's not all bad.
Yeah, absolutely right. All right, my loser is the World Supercross depth. It's just when you look at the depth, you look at the back of the pack, they're way off. They're way back there. I don't want to mention one name because the dad's already mad at me, but there's just guys that just, are gate fillers. And the series needs to get a little more serious. Like the last round in SA, there's 13 guys racing. Because one guy dropped out or whatever. So we just got to get some more depth, some more teams involved, some more teams that like the financial package, a few more riders, a few more high-quality riders. Like, look, this was a step up. This was a step up for World Supercross, but the depth just, yikes, wasn't there by the end without the wild cards, and so the depth needs to get better.
All right, my last one would be just the Argentina recast thing that happened.
Oh yeah, true.
That was a big bummer because it was the first round and there was a lot of hype, and it kind of just it's almost like it was the first round in a 5-round fight that the series has been in to just reclaim or at least set itself up for success in the future. And they got a little bit of a little right hook at the first one with the recast thing. Mm-hmm. And it got better after that. I mean, my wife, my mom, a lot of friends at home, they watched every single one and had no problem. So it got better, but that was just a bummer that it happened at the first one when Deegan was there making the debut. And so I guess they righted the wrong, obviously, because it ended up being okay. But that was a bummer to start it that way.
Yeah.
And and I would expect, obviously, it was a learning lesson because it never happened again. But that would be a loss just the way it started.
Yeah. I think you're right there for sure. All right, that's our 3 winners and losers. Troy Lee Designs, Race Tech, Blair Matthes Project, Stomp Grip, PulpMX 25 for 10% off Stomp Grip. They are proudly made in the USA. Whether you're racing Supercross, you're hammering motocross, you're ripping laps at local tracks, Stomp Grips, dirt bike 3D grip tape, and frame grips give you the control you need to stay locked in. Engineered for high friction zones like Kellen's bed sheets. Stomp Grips 3D grip tape helps reduce arm pump, improve body positioning, protect your plastics and frame from wear and tear. Stomp Grip, they got custom kits as well, but you can make your own if you want to by cutting it out. And you need that extra traction. StompGrip.com. PulpMX 25. Code to save. Thank you. All right. Anything else, World Supercross guys? Move on.
No.
All right. Couple things here. We got some Instagram questions coming up here. They announced this was something at the media days that I'd heard was coming, and they announced it officially at the SMX media days. The first session. The first 8-minute session in Supercross is gone. They've added some extra time to the 2 qualifying sessions. All in all, it's about 4 minutes less on the track and 1 whole session gone. And I'm in favor of this. The only bad part is that it doesn't look like we can get there any later. The day still kind of starts the same. And I'm not this is inside baseball stuff or boo-hoo, poor media guys, but dude, it's a long-ass day for everyone there. The riders, the mechanics. Well, not the riders. They get in a little later. But mechanics, teams, media guys. I was hoping to see with 1 session taken away. The day is shortened. It is not. But listen, there's less time on the track and more time for the dirt jerks to work on the track. And this is all a positive to me. The riders do not need the extra time. I couldn't believe the shit I was reading in RacerX Instagram comments. It's unbelievable. These people are so stupid. They honestly, they should just sign out of social media forever because,
oh man,
what about the privateers? Screwing the privateer. Dude, this isn't 1993. Supercross guys, all these privateers have Supercross practice tracks now. Back in the day, they needed the Friday practice that I used to be in as a mechanic. And Daniel, you probably did some Friday practice, maybe not.
Oh, I did Friday.
You needed Friday practice because you didn't get to ride Supercross during the week. Well, those days are over. This is a professional sport. The track will be better for this. The program will be better for this. Hallelujah. If you think this is hurting the privateers, go do a short walk off a long pier, long walk off a short pier. That's it. You're an idiot. All right, Daniel, go ahead.
Man, that's a tough one for me because I actually agree with some of the people you're calling an idiot.
It's 4 less minutes, Daniel. It's 4 less minutes.
Not all the way. Here's what I'll say, because it is harder for the privateer guys that need more time to probably learn the track safely before they have to go and send it into their fast lap. So for me, it's a hit to B and C guys, really bad, and not a big deal to the Group A guys. They're probably good.
Dude,
that's
it's
one
not a
less
hit to the B and C guys. It's not a hit.
Yeah, it is. I mean, essentially, you're taking away their free practice to go and learn the track, and now you're putting the pressure on them right away to have to go out there and be great in
Daniel, it's a professional sport. These guys should be practicing Supercross all week long. And if you're if you don't make the night show, then sorry, man. But those 4 extra minutes aren't going to do it for you.
Well, it's not just a night show. I mean, 20 in the night show are in the A group, and 20 come from B and C. So I'm saying it's tougher. I'm not. We can debate whether you care about B and C guys, but it does hurt. It hurts the B and C guys to not have 10 minutes of free practice to learn the track.
It's 4 minutes.
They have to go and qualify.
It's 4 minutes.
Legitimately.
It's 4 minutes less.
Overall, no.
Yeah, overall, it's 4 minutes less.
Yeah, but it's the fact that they lose the free one, which allows you to go and learn the track without the clock on and mattering.
But everybody's going to be in the same boat. Everyone's in the same boat.
It makes it harder for the B and C guys compared to the A guys who are better. That's all I'm saying is the free practice helps them more than it helps the A guys.
Oh
they
my
don't need
God,
it.
you're one of those guys in the Instagram comments. I can't believe it.
I'm not, but I'm saying there is a legitimate fact that B and C guys get hurt by this more because they lose time to learn the track without the pressure of having to go fast. That's reality.
But okay,
my solution is way worse. You're going to hate that even more. So
let's take,
or we can argue.
yeah, Kellen, this is a guy who doesn't let any riders show up in his series. You can't just show up and ride Daniel's series. You got to be on a team, everything, the whole thing. You got to, you just can't roll out of bed like David Pulley and race Daniel's series. Okay, so that's he's elitist already. Not to pick on poor Cade, but let's pick on Cade Clason. Borderline main event guy. Ride Supercross for PRMX. Someone like Cade, I don't believe would be affected one iota by not having the free practice to learn the track. So now Cade, let's say Cade is the 25th best guy, 30th best guy maybe sometimes. He didn't have a great year last year. So the 30th best guy there isn't affected one iota. How far back are we going, Daniel, that's going to be affected?
It's so simple. I don't know how we're even arguing. The A group guys, which are the elite guys that are so dang good at this, they don't need that time really because they pick up the track in 2 or 3 laps.
I'm not talking about them. I'm talking B and C. B and C. K. Clason, B and C guys.
The B and C guys, it takes them a little longer to get the track and all the obstacles and everything dialed before they're ready. So you think,
okay, so you think K. Clason, and I'm just picking on Cade here. I can promise you, K. Clason, who is the 30th best guy in Supercross, okay, out of 22. I would say, Kellen, am I right? He's a borderline main event guy, 25th to 30th.
Yeah.
There's 40 guys in the night show. Cade is 30th. I guarantee you, Cade Clason in the free practice jumps everything he needs to jump in 3 laps.
What about the 250 guys, dude? You're talking Cade 450 guy who's made how many mains? How about the 250 B and C guys?
Pull a 250 guy. Pull a 250 B guy. Same thing. Same thing applies. This is a professional sport, sir.
I know. Listen, I know, and I'm not saying that I have like a problem with it. I'm throwing a fit. It's fine. I'm not even upset about it, but I'm just saying it's a legitimate point that B and C guys are affected by this more than the A guys are because now they have to go fast immediately and they don't have the free time to go and learn the track. Okay, let me give you this.
There's 80 guys that get into class. Okay, there's 80 guys that get in, right? Signups are capped at 80. So I will give you, Daniel, and this is the guy that has raised almost $1 million for privateers, okay? Helpfully, like through Yamaha and everything else. I'm not saying it's my money, but
I don't question your heart.
Yeah.
Do not
so
your heart.
This is a guy, and I've worked for privateers as a mechanic and all of that. You're absolutely right, Daniel. The guys 50th and back, 50 to 80, would struggle with this, but they're not even in the night show. And until they can get better, sorry, guys. Sorry, man. So there are guys that are affected by this, but no one in the night show, in my opinion.
Okay, less of the guys in the night show, but the guys who haven't for sure. And all I'm saying is if you take a guy who is, say, on the bubble between 35 and 45, and that's where he lives, that guy now, instead of having 10 minutes or 8 minutes, whatever it is, to go and just learn the track and piece it together without the pressure of qualifying, taking that away does affect that dude's night. I think it does. And I'm not saying, again, that I don't even know why we're debating this long. I haven't even got to my solution, which you're going to be even more pissed about. But it definitely affects the guys. The guys further away from Jet are affected by the less amount of time they have on the track. So B and C guys definitely are affected by that. That's all I said. They're affected.
Can I just say one thing?
Kellen, you can't. No, I'm kidding.
It's the solution. DB's probably got something different, but it's the solution for all of these 35 on back guys that you guys are talking about. Pretty simple, right? They cut one rhythm section and the whoop section every freaking Friday morning for 5 a.m. press, and Sean Brennan is begging these people, please wake up early and come to the stadium and talk to these news stations. I know that you probably have a problem with that, but I'm just saying, if these guys want track time, if that's the only issue, is to learn the track, learn the shapes of the jumps, learn how the dirt feels, go to 5 a.m. press. They're begging them to come.
But Kellen, wait, are you telling me, and I don't know this, but are you telling me that Sean doesn't have 5 a.m. press guys lined up? I would assume he would.
He does sometimes, but other rounds, I've talked to him, and he's like, it's
Oh, for
ragtag
real?
group.
Oh,
yeah.
I would think, like, I've done those 5 a.m. days, as Daniel probably has too.
Oh, I did them.
I assumed, Kellen, that they had no problem filling any Friday riding spots.
No, I've heard that they've had some rounds where it's like, oh,
yeah.
only
Well,
3 guys wanna
Daniel,
come.
tell your guys, Daniel, your people, 35 to 50, show up on Friday morning.
All right. Well, for all you out there listening, 35 to 50, hit up Sean Brennan. And get it. He's begging for guys, especially at A1, I'm sure. You ready for the solution?
But okay, can
My
we agree
solution-
on this? This gives the dirt jerks more time to work on the track, which is beneficial to the sport.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
Okay.
yeah,
All right.
absolutely. And to your point, it doesn't really change the length of the day. They have substituted things to make it
Yeah.
work. I
Yeah.
do think that it's tougher for the B and C guys than it is in the A. The A guys are probably like, good, we do one and get it over with and we're done. The B and C guys do need more time. I mean, I coach a lot of guys at club every day who are in B and C practice and will be this year. And I can tell you right now, they benefit from a little more time. Not just for safety reasons, but even the ability to put together fast laps and make their first night show or make their first main. I'm not saying that we have to fight over this. I'm just saying they're obviously affected by it in a negative.
I would say they take 22 to the main and they take 40 to the night show. And as I said earlier, 35 riders out of the 40 are not affected.
I would say, I'd say every single one of them are affected a little bit, and it's worse the further back you go, starting with more like around 20, the guys that barely make mains.
But listen, man. Okay, well, we'll agree to disagree.
Whatever. Anyways, solution. You ready for this?
Race
Quick
tech,
solution for you.
Solution.
I think all qualifying should be on Friday for the practices, and then I think Saturday when qualifying is, they should be doing daytime qualifiers like they used to back in the day and make these guys qualify to the night show, not based on one fast lap. I think qualifying off of a fast lap is the silliest thing ever, and they should be racing their way into the night show, and practice should be on Friday. So
okay. I don't think the industry wants that. Extra
No, I know
hotels,
they
extra
don't.
travel.
I know they don't, but it would
not
be
a
better.
crazy idea. Yeah, not a crazy idea. I did the days of daytime qualies.
I mean, imagine if Friday you had your free practice and one of free practice in your qualifying sessions to set the lineup for a day qualifier. Top 10 can be seated like back in the day, and then have daytime qualifiers on Saturday. It would fill up. People
So
would
are
be
you
in the stands
taking-
watching that?
Are you taking the 40 night show guys to Saturday, and then you're getting the main event done in the daytime qualifiers, or what are you getting done?
No. I'm saying all of practice is free on Friday. It's free
Got
practice.
it.
Everyone
Okay.
gets to ride and learn the track, and then on Saturday they race their way into the night program. So you have daytime qualifying like they used to have. I used to go through those. They were awesome. They were races, and people like racing. And right now, you do all this work and you go there and you get hopefully one fast lap so you can get in the night show, or hopefully you get fast enough to get a good gate pick at night. It's less racing what they do now. It was better before. And I know it costs more and it's more work and all that, whatever. But to me, they should have went the other way. We should be practicing Friday, daytime racing on Saturday, nighttime racing Saturday night.
I'm just saying the Kay Claysons of the world, they even have these tracks down pat within 2 laps. They know exactly what they're doing. Maybe there's a quad that Sexton's doing that they're not doing, but
then I will modify my statement and say that the 250 B and C guys are the ones taking the hit on this.
Okay,
they're
well,
the ones that are newer to the sport and are learning it, and now are on the clock the minute they hit the track. First lap, they're on the freaking clock instead of having a free session to go out there and just learn it without the pressure of having to go fast.
all right.
250 B and C guys.
We got questions from Instagram. Let's hurry this thing up.
All right.
Too much fighting. Marchbanks is flying at the test track. Flying at the test track is the word.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. The dude rips. Hey, someone DM me because of this thing I reposted, and they threw out a really cool hypothetical. So let's just modify this question.
Mm-hmm.
Who gets a top 5 first? Marchbanks, Hampshire, or Prado?
Hampshire.
Kellen?
I would lean Hampshire, but his crash in the offseason has me worried right now. So I will say Marchbanks.
Okay.
Hampshire.
Yeah,
But it's a good
Hampshire's-
question. But that's a really interesting little trio there. So,
Hampshire's a beast.
Yep.
Okay, hold on. Questions. Oh, Faulkner 450. We talked about this at the media days. We talked about this last night on the show also, too, with Phil and Kiefer. I don't see the sense of it. Jordan's going to be out till February, March. just there's no title sponsor. Save Austin for the West 250s instead of this Deacon Jones or whatever this kid is. Put Deacon Jones.
Stave's
Let him
Deacon
have
Deno. Deacon Deno.
let Deacon Jones. Let him
he's
have
one of my-
less pressure. Don't send him out as the only guy on a factory triumph. So
I agree with that 100%.
just wait till Jordan gets in and soft roll this thing. Boom. There you go.
Yeah, I don't understand the desperate need. I mean, I don't know the inner politics and workings of the company enough to know why you would even take Jordan off the 250. Jordan won a race last year. Like, why would you do that in the deepest 450 field of all time? What would be the point of debuting it if it's not going to be debuted properly anyway? Like, to me, it makes no sense whatsoever. But hey, we race against those guys, so hey, move them all to 450 for all I care.
Yeah, exactly right. Okay, questions on Instagram. Oh, Daniel, decal works in ASV. I put a ASV front brake lever on my bike. I really like the way it feels. It's like skinny. It's like one of the race ones. It's skinny in my fingers, so I like it. And then Bob and I have been talking about ways to make this damn Nissan YZ450 hydro clutch easier to pull. I think he's going to help me on that. ASV, all things levers.
Yeah, ASV, they were awarded the #1 lever choice in the 2025 Vital MX audience survey for the 11th time. And yeah, they have a new lever application for 2026, including the all-new Yamaha YZ450F with a new hydraulic clutch lever. Go to hookit.com and mxsponsor.com or go to the ASV website if you'd like to be sponsored. They're like the best at this in the industry. Or use the code PulpMX in all caps for 20% off at asvinventions.com. And then from beginners to seasoned vets, race teams, project builds, and magazine tests, DecalWorks' mission is to cater to those who love to ride, upholding the true definition of quality, service, and knowledge. Visit decalmx.com and use the promo code PulpMX25 to get 20% off your custom graphics.
Great guys there. We had Sean in from DecalWorks. By the way, let me just pull in a Pulp plug here. Hopefully Daniel doesn't freak out, but PulpMX Fantasy signups are open. And so we're doing a little bit of soft launch on this until Kellen can get the stuff done. But PulpMX Fantasy, we're open for signups now, giving away a YZ450. So go ahead and sign up there. We also have a Survivor game that is free to play for anyone in any state. You can get your 10 best buddies and set the rules and play a Survivor game, and it's kind of neat. So just try that out. If you're in a state that maybe we can't play in, try that. Try the Survivor game. It's PulpMX Fantasy. Check it out. Okay. Questions on Instagram. Last Dieter says, is Cullen Park ending up anywhere? He is re-signed with Phoenix, so Cullen will be there.
Cullen will be at Club MX, I believe, tomorrow or whenever this comes out today, testing also. So I'll be hanging with Cullen in South Africa on Saturday and hanging with Cullen at Club on Wednesday. He's
a great guy. For people who don't know Cullen Park,
he's awesome.
He's a really good dude. Yeah, someone to cheer for sure.
Yep.
MX Racer 98. Kellen, we'll start with you. Who will have a better bounce back season? Ramit, a.k.a. McAdoo, or Pierce Brown?
Oof.
Wow.
I go Pierce.
Yeah, I think I might go Pierce too. I love Cam, but we got to I guess they both got to finish races, but Pierce kind of proved that when I'm healthy, I'm still really damn good, I guess.
See, I'd go the opposite. I mean, other than Vegas on the gas, that's the only real result that Pierce has had in a long time that I can even remember that was a good one.
Yeah, but dude,
he led half the first main event of the year until he cartwheeled.
I just said he had one good race in the last how many years? It was Vegas when he won the final SMX round, whatever, 24. So bounce back from what? I mean, he didn't even finish one. They're both triple-digit numbers too, I believe, right? Both 3-digit.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'll say McAdoo. McAdoo, surprisingly, no matter what, finds his way on the podium. Even last year, he was on the podium at round 1. I mean, the dude is always on the podium. It's like automatic. So whatever coast he's on, dude probably is on the podium at the opening round. He's the easiest bounce back candidate because all he ever does is bounce back. So I'll go with McAdoo.
Jay Wilson says, after a successful WSX season, what aspects would you apply to SMX? I like the short races, he says.
Oh, bro.
I think they're a little too short myself, those 2 sprint races. I don't mind the point system where it's 10-9, because it's not a huge penalty because they are short races. So I don't mind that. But honestly, I would do Super Pole, but they should pay points for Super Pole, which I don't know why they don't. Joey brought this up on the show last night. They're asking riders to do extra work and there's no reward, money or points or anything for the Super Pole. So to me, pay the guys and bring Super Pole into America.
I mean, I'll probably get ripped on for this one because I get ripped on this every time I bring it up. But I've always liked the Triple Crown format. I think it's better to see all the best racers racing at the end of the night multiple times other than a heat race and one main event. So for me, I like the format of World Supercross. And maybe, I don't know, I like the 8-8-12. I could probably get on board with 10-10-12, but I don't think I would make the finale more than 12. I think shorter racing means more sprinting, harder racing, and dude, I'm telling you that those things were perfect in feel. And I think 20 lap or 20-minute main events are too long, man. I get by the 15-minute mark, I'm like, man, this thing's going forever most of the time. Every once in a while we get a late race banger. Thank you, Cooper Webb. But outside of that, dude, 20-minute races are typically pretty spread out and boring 15 minutes into the race. So for me, I would go Triple Crown format and bring the points into it too. I think they nailed that.
Kellen, anything for you?
I've always wanted Super Pole, so I would take that as well. But how about we also get, our top athletes to go explore the local area?
Yes.
We get Eli Tomac checking out all the cool stuff in St. Louis.
I was
for
going to
example,
say, take Eli
Detroit,
to Detroit, down to the suburbs. Take him
Eli.
to
No, here's Eli on the GM assembly line. He's putting together a Cavalier.
Yeah,
he's bolting the parts on a Cavalier.
Here's Aaron Plessinger out at 8 Mile.
Perfect. C. Dibble, how is it behind the scenes for the Eras YouTube show with Pastrana, Kenny, Carson? Give us behind the scenes details. This is out now. It's really cool. We had Pastrana on the Pulp Show, Daniel. These things are always cool to watch. And you had TP 199, who actually wasn't as far off as I thought he would have been. He held it in there pretty good. And Carson Brown's an animal.
Carson Brown is an absolute animal. He's an animal. The dude is so talented. It's disgusting. And I will say, I had someone recently tell me, why is this dude doing all that and not racing? He would be such a great racer. And it's like, do you know how good of a life this fool has? He literally travels around riding whatever bike is thrown at him. He's a Red Bull athlete. He's got the sickest show on YouTube. And he doesn't have to go and be a racer and go through all of that and be like, what, in the 250 class, battling for top fives? Like, what a absolute crusher life this dude has. And so anyways, I just want to point that out. But behind the scenes is, honestly, it's a lot like what you see on camera. Like, everyone's just in a good mood and they're goofy and cheerful and playful. The track's sick. And I will say, though, the one thing I will say behind the curtain, it's always a miracle to me what it looks like when it's finished, because, dude, every episode is like there's something that's making it run late or an issue with the bike, and like we're just desperate to get this thing done. And I'm sitting here going, dude, there's no way we're going to get this done. There's no way. This is a waste of a trip. It's not going to happen. And then we somehow pull it off, and then the video comes out, and it's like freaking cinema. Like, the Verb guys are magicians straight up, because it does not feel that way when we're doing it all, and then they make it come out like it's just the most organized thing ever. And dude, we wing 80% of what happens on that show every time. So shout out to the staff and the crew who pull it off, because it is we wing it hard, and the vibes are incredible. It's just like a fun play day at the track with the raddest dudes in the sport getting whooped by Carson. So
all right, Cody Yaw says, Ty Masterpool back to Privateer 450. I don't know about 450s, but Jamie at Twisted Development's doing something for him on Yamahas for the Masterpool. So I don't know if it's 250, 450, but yeah, Privateer Life has a Yamaha, I believe, for Masterpool. So
Yamaha Twisted.
MP Dawn says, argument's sake, if Jet goes down, who is the favorite? I mean, I'll go Chase.
Oh, wow. Flip a coin, Chase or Eli, and throw Cooper in there, kind of, I guess, those three. But I'd probably, gosh, man, I don't know. Yeah, maybe Chase. I'll lean Eli. I'll go 51-49 Eli. I think he's in a little better situation than Chase. Flaherty
170. Did DB get the young Blue Crew Brit on the Supercross track while he was at club?
The young Blue Crew
Brit. I don't know who that could be. Is it Lewis?
Oh, no, it was a kid that was here after Minio's, kid on a 125. No, he rode outdoor. He's on a 125. We wouldn't let a 125 on the Supercross track. So,
Kellen, you might know this. I don't know what this means, but any from M Tanker 574. Any concerns about Sexton after hearing Kitchen's comments at Media Day?
Oh, yeah. I mean, Lewis and I talked about this a little bit. Kitchen was talking about how he started talking again with Chase like the last week and a half, and he was explaining how he sets up his 250 at times and that he's also been riding a stock KX 450 and what he was doing to it. And then he used the words, it opened a can of worms to Chase. And so he didn't say what that meant or what direction Chase is going with that, but obviously can of worms and Chase Sexton setups doesn't exactly go well together.
No. Was Lewis hitting the panic button on that?
He was downplaying it quite a bit.
Man.
This guy's toe knee D. Does championship bonuses exist for WSX? I don't believe so. Like from the series, no. It's per race money, and then the teams get money that they can negotiate with the riders. It seemed to me like the teams keep the money and then the riders get the purse. It's kind of a standard deal.
I think so. You know what's crazy? Again, you called it my series. I don't
it is
know
your series.
that. I don't know that part. I don't really know how the money works through the teams.
Why don't you let Cade and Pulley race your series if you love them so much?
Cade probably could get a spot. I think Pulley would have a tougher go getting a spot. But Cade could definitely get a spot. He would fit right in there. I think Stark's probably looking for a couple guys next year. So
Jamie
Stark,
70.
Yeah, Stark, call Cade Clayson. He'd love to come.
How will Ducati do? Jamie 70. Barsha's going to be touch and go for A1 and not much time on the bike.
Ferrandis is going 17-0 apparently.
Ferrandis is ready, man. He is stoked and
dude,
ready to go.
I heard. I didn't hear it from him, but I heard you guys talking about it on the Pulp Show. And best frame, right? Did he say it's the best frame?
Best
of all
frame
time
in two-wheel motorsports.
Dang, dude! Wow. That's a high a high bar he's putting out there. But hey, you know what's funny? And I'll throw this out there is you never really talk about the potential battle that could be a Jorge Prado Dylan Ferrandis battle. I mean, Dylan probably sits right in the spot that Jorge would maybe land in this year. And Dylan is a 2-time 250 Supercross champ, a 450 motocross champ in the US. And Prado didn't go that route. And if they ended up together battling, I mean, talk about two guys that went two completely different routes to get probably close to each other in the main. So I just want to throw out, don't be surprised if you see some Dylan Jorge battles this year. I think they're going to be around each other a lot.
M. Bradley 24 says still DeWolf and Coonins next year in America. I would assume he means no Coonins SMX or Nationals maybe is the plan. But Kellen, like you said, it lines up against GPs or Lewis said that. So I don't really know what's going on. DeWolf, I think, comes here. Yes, I do.
It's crazy that KTM actually doesn't have a 250 this year.
What do you mean?
With Juju, with his injury, KTM is going 250 Supercross racing this year with, I guess, the AEO guys. It's just wild, you know? I mean, they won the championship the last 2 years in a row with Tom. And then they had the Rookie of the Year in 2024 with Juju, and now this year they don't have a factory 250 program in Supercross. That's just odd.
They're busy with Eli. All right, Midlife Motos last question says, why has no riders union been formed to make the pay more fair for the riders? This shit is as old as that comes. Like, listen, man, there should be an association of riders. There really should be. Someone should do it. They've tried in the past. There should be a team association. And even though Feld and MX Sports doing a better job of including the teams in this weekly call, there should be an association of some sort. There isn't. And it's all on the riders themselves. Like there's no organization there. They're independent contractors. They'll slit each other's throat for $30. So what makes you think that Eli Tomac gives a shit about Logan Carnell's problems or concerns? This has always been the issue in our sport. The top guys are making $4 to $5 million, and dude, they don't give a shit about 30 grand guys in the back of the field. Sorry, not sorry. It's just the way it goes. So until the riders get organized themselves, or someone who has power gets them organized, it's not going to happen. So they kind of get what they deserve in some way, but. Again, props to Feld and MX Sports. They have bumped up the purse with the SMX money, and they do have weekly calls with the teams. To me, like the NASCAR thing we just saw get settled with Jordan and Denny Hamlin and Front Row Motorsports, it really needs to start on the team side and negotiations with the teams. But again, as I've said on the Pulp Show, for 15 goddamn years, and I'm sorry I'm not letting either one of you two jump in here. This is just something I'm into. As I've been saying on the Pulp Show for 15 goddamn years, Mitch Payton and Mike Genova's agendas are different from Honda. Honda is an OEM spending millions to market motorcycles, and they degaff about making a profit. They know this is marketing for motorcycles to make you feel good about buying a quad, a Goldwing, and a CRF. Mitch Payton is like, hey, man, I need to make a profit here because I'm a private businessman, and I got to make my cams and my pistons and my triple clamps and make a profit here. Mike Genova's like, I love this sport. I make hot tub shit, and I want to make a profit. So to line up the teams, whereas in NASCAR, they're all private businessmen. They're all doing it for profits. But in our sport, to line up Honda and Mike Genova, like it's just two different agendas. And how can the teams ever get together where I think it should start, like NASCAR? So boom, there we go. I've said this goddamn speech 40 effing times over the years, and I fail to see where everyone has the same agenda for getting this thing going. But should riders and teams have an association? Yes, they should.
I'll just back you up and say I don't see any scenario where they would ever be able to work it out amongst themselves to even be able to create one. That's the problem. Is no
Right.
rider agrees with the other rider on every issue. I mean, think about it. Like about this losing free practice thing. Like the riders would never agree on that together because while the privateers probably would like the extra time, the factory riders would want less. So they wouldn't be able to even agree on something as simple as free
in something like
practice.
that, you would have a leader, a Jeremy McGrath, saying, "Guys, this is what Feld wants to do. Give me your thoughts on it. What's our consensus? Hey, it's a 30% no, 70% yes."
Whose vote sways harder? Jets, Eli's, and Kenny's, or Carnow?
Oh, we just take a vote of your membership. Just take a vote of your membership.
I guess that would be it, but it would have to be organized that way. You're right. It would be so hard to pull it off, but I'll take it one step further. I don't even know if it's the teams; it's the actual OEMs that would have to get together to form it, and then it would have to trickle down to the teams and down to the riders. It would have to start at the OEM level.
It just starts on the team level because Mitch Payton is a
teams come and go. Teams come and go.
Okay,
Manufacturers
but
don't.
Yeah, but listen, your series makes it work. Mitch Payton
created a different model, though. They created
Mitch Payton should have as much say on what goes on in the sport as Brandon Wilson, who doesn't even own Honda, but just runs the racing department. Mitch Payton has skin in this game, in the form of profits and losses and everything else.
Should Mitch Payton and Julian from PRMX have the same say?
Yes.
They should. Okay. So, as long as we're there, because again, if it's all the teams, then every team would have to be equal in this, including Star Yamaha and their 50 riders, all the way down to traders.
I think Bobby Reagan's crazy, so I don't know if you'd ever get him to agree on anything. But dude, the OEMs are the problem because they don't care, man. Like they want things better. Don't get me wrong, and they want it to work for them, and they're interested in fair racing, fair competition to show that their bikes are the best. They're interested in that, don't get me wrong. But, dude, do they care about spending a profit? Like, they just hire another truck driver. If the series goes from Seattle to Miami and Julian at PRMX is his driver dies because he drives off a cliff because he's wired on Coke and Adderalls and, Mitch.
What an example. What a metaphor.
Okay. Went a little far. But, the OEMs are just like, screw it, hire a second truck driver. Like, that's just what we do. And Julian's like, I can't afford a second truck driver. Here's some Coke and some Adderall. Don't fall off a cliff. So it's just such a different agenda.
Well, it totally is a different agenda. It depends on what you think the biggest problem is. Because if you think the biggest problem is the payout, again, you're talking more about the guys probably outside of the top five. I mean, I'm sure Jet is super concerned about his payout from Supercross and Motocross. Okay, I'm sure he's waiting for it by the mailbox. It's the guys further down the line that aren't making enough money. And so essentially, how do you get them paid more? I don't even know how you do that other than, I guess, if the top guys in the sport all got together and told the promoter, hey, we're not racing no more unless you give these guys more money. And that would never happen.
Daniel, you're a fan of other sports just like I am. That's what you would do. You'd form an association. You'd go to Feld and MX Sports and say, let me see your books. Let me see your books. Otherwise, we're not showing up. But we are so far from that. So far from that.
You would have to have the top 5 guys in the sport literally tell them we're not showing up at Anaheim 1 and we're going public as a unified front.
Yeah,
You'd have to
I
get
do.
Chase, Eli, Jet, and Cooper all together to be like, we're unified. We're not showing up unless you give
dude. And they're
Greco
making
more money.
Eli Tomac and Jet Lawrence are making $5 million a year. Life is good. Life is good for them. They'll show up at Anaheim. And that was part of the reason, like, Wyndham tried something back in the day in Vegas to get everybody to go to his suite. And a couple of the big names didn't show because they're just like, dude, I don't want to ruffle feathers. I'm crushing it. And so we're back to my beginning of my rant, my race tech rant. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's it would take all the stars aligning so unbelievably uniquely, and I don't see that. And you would need to get the Deegans and the Lawrences probably in a room together to sit down
there we go.
And be partners.
Yeah.
So no.
Yep.
There's no shot.
No, not gonna happen. But it should. They should, and I don't mean it in an adversarial way. Like they should have an association, 100%, teams and riders, and go to Feldon MX Sports and talk to them out. Now, Feldon MX Sports, like I said, they're doing a better job than ever. But yeah, there should be something. But good luck, man. Yep, good luck. Yeah, there should be a media association too, where we can kick Kellen out of this.
We've kind of kicked him out of the last 20 minutes of this pod, for being honest.
He's a fraud. Doesn't matter. All right. Let's wrap this up. I got to eat some dinner. It's good to be back. I felt spicy tonight. You know why I'm spicy? Because Kellen and Lewis dicked me out of an LVK appearance I was supposed to have. So,
hey, are we gonna do Blair Matthes project versus LVK again this year? I think we need to put some of those on the books.
It was a great hit, but can you imagine trying to get fucking Wygant, to line up? Like, it was amazing that it happened.
That's true. Well,
do we?
We should do it though.
We should do it. Can we get anyone other than Wygant to host it though? Like, and also too, Wygant needs some help calculating points.
Oh, dude.
I think
he was so off in the point, dude. It wasn't even close.
I don't think he was really good at that.
He may have possibly been double digits off, I think, at one point.
So can we? Yeah, we need a new host because Wygant can't count, and also I don't think he's so busy. I don't know if he would do it again. But I loved it. I thought it was great. I think our audiences liked it.
JT will do it.
Zero chance of that. He's got a I think he's got a Ugandan podcast he's doing with Townley to talk about the India racing series. So he's busy with that.
He's covering India racing.
Right. He's got a pod lined up with Townley about Indian racing.
JT's a good follow on Twitter. Not his actual post, but his replies, just so you all know. JT's replies are great.
All right. Troy Lee Designs. Email us on the contact form on Pulp to get a discount. Race Tech. Also love those guys. Zool, Seat Concepts, Firepower, Maxis, ASV Levers, Decal Works, Stomp Grip, Alpine Stars, all on board with us. Thanks, Fraud, for producing this thing behind the scenes. Great job at that. DB, good job on the WSX stuff, all of it.
Thank you.
All the different roles you played. I was waiting for you to do the popcorn machine like we've talked about before.
I almost got sucked back into the old life, dude. They were going to have me do the 30-second board.
Yeah.
And I wasn't able to get back to the desk in time.
No, for sure. No, you did a good job for sure. And the series was great. That final race was a banger for sure. And then, so thanks everybody for watching and listening. Appreciate it. And we'll see you sometime soon.